This month, I picked up a CD mega haul. Let's talk about it here on the Vinyl Jukebox. What's up, everyone? It's Ben from the Vinyl Jukebox, and if you haven't done so already, please be sure to leave a like and a comment below this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. So like I said, I picked up a crazy amount of CDs this month, 22 CDs, and I also picked up some vinyl, so 7 vinyl to show you guys today. Let's get right into it. I'll start with the vinyl though. First off, I picked up the reissue of acdc's High Voltage, the Australian version, and I had never heard this version before, and I loved it. I think it's so much better than the international version. Really cool that they re-released this. I was really impressed also that they included poly-lined inner sleeves for this one, and I guess they reproduced the original labels. I don't really know what the original label looked like. I guess I could look that up. But really cool stuff here, and sounds phenomenal. Incredible track listing. There's songs on here that didn't appear in America, at least until I believe it was the Jailbreak EP in the 80s. But really cool stuff here. I was really glad that they reissued this, and as of right now, from what I saw, this is pretty much sold out. I pre-ordered it on Amazon and I didn't really think anything of it, and now I'm seeing copies going for like upwards of $200. So pretty insane that this was in such high demand. Hopefully they do a repress for those who didn't get it. I'm just happy to have it, but I was not expecting the value to go up that much. I did see that it was limited edition, but you know, I don't really think anything of that these days. When they mention limited edition, it can mean anything. So just really happy to pick that up. I did a review of this on the channel. This was Billy Idol's Dream Into It. This came out last month, so really good stuff here. I said on my review though, wasn't too impressed with the album as a whole. There's a few standout tracks, definitely 77, Still Dancing, some standouts to me, but overall, I did think this album was a bit disappointing from Billy Idol. Now a few used pickups. I was really happy to pick up UFO's Strangers in the Night. I didn't have this live album, and this is one of those iconic live albums. I mean, featuring Rock Bottom, Love to Love, Doctor Doctor. I mean, insane tracks from UFO. I've been really getting into them lately, so happy to pick this one up for a good price. What's strange is I've noticed online that CD copies of this actually go for more than the vinyl copies, but I did want it on vinyl anyway, so happy to have that. Another live album I picked up recently, Neil Young with Crazy Horse, Live Rust. Just a great live album. I want to pick up his one from the 90s, Weld. I haven't seen, well, vinyl copies of that got reissued, so a little pricey on Amazon, so maybe I could find a cheaper CD copy, but really happy to get this one, especially as I prepare to see Neil Young this summer. Another iconic live album that I did not have in my collection and was really happy to pick up here, Allman Brothers Live at the Fillmore. I mean, what could you say? I mean, this is just as iconic and classic as it gets. And this is an 80s reissue. Doesn't have the gatefold, but to be honest, I just wanted it for the music, and this did not disappoint, so I was really happy to pick that up. Now, a couple of pickups actually from just yesterday. Jeff Beck, There and Back. This is the really cool like leather replica cover. It's a promo copy, white label. Let me just pull out the record. Cool, it had the original inner sleeve there. But really nice white label promo copy of that. Happy to add that to the collection. I'll put that with the rest of my Jeff Beck stuff. And what I was a little annoyed about was had a little label on it, and I do try to take the labels off when I get used records. This one was not coming off, and it kind of left a little bit of residue there. Maybe I could work on that one a little bit more. Still happy to have the music though, still happy to have the white label, so what are you gonna do? And last but not least, for the vinyl, I found this really cool Screamin' Jay Hawkins record. You guys will know him from the song I Put a Spell on You. I was just taken by the cover of this album. I mean, really cool cover. This is like a 80s compilation, but I didn't have any Screamin' Jay Hawkins in my collection, so it would be really nice to give this one a spin and see some of his, hear some of his other music, because I really only know I Put a Spell on You, so I'm really excited to get introduced to some other songs that that he put out. All right, now for the CDs. Now I wanted to start out with something that I actually just found yesterday. And what was crazy was I was watching, in the morning yesterday, I was watching the Aerosmith live DVD, You Gotta Move, which was kind of like a documentary DVD taken from their Honkin' on Bobo tour. And what do you know, I went to a local record bookstore and they had a sealed copy of Honkin' on Bobo, the CD, with a tiny harmonica. I guess this was a promo item. I already had the CD of Honkin' on Bobo. To be honest, it's good, but it's not great. You know, it's their blues covers album. But I just couldn't pass this up with the harmonica and the fact that I saw the movie earlier that day. I just, you know, I felt like it was meant to be. So really glad to pick that up. I love those promo item type things. Just really great to add to the collection in the music room here. Next up, same thing. Yesterday I found this EP here, Fight Mutations. Fight, if you don't know, was a band that Rob Halford formed from Judas Priest. Rob Halford formed this after leaving Judas Priest in the 90s. And they're, you know, they're metal, but they're a little more thrashy than Judas Priest. Their first album, War of Words, is incredible. It's kind of like the long lost Judas Priest album that they never made. But this is a really cool compilation of live tracks and remixes. You know, the remixes I'm not crazy about. It's kind of like those 90s remixes that bands used to do on special editions. So not too crazy about that, but the live tracks are just killer on this one. So really happy to pick that one up. Next up, some online pickups here. Now I'd been hearing about this kind of around the YouTube channels recently, and you know, I knew about this album and I figured I'd pick it up eventually, and you know, I saw that this kept selling in and out on Amazon, so I just wanted to get my copy so that I don't miss out on it. This is Bobby Keys' solo album from 1972. And this reissue was done by Wounded Bird Records. And this is just an awesome, awesome solo album. I mean, it's all instrumental. Obviously, Bobby Keys on saxophone, George Harrison on guitars, Ringo Starr, Dave Mason, Leslie West, Nicky Hopkins, Jack Bruce from Cream, Felix Pappalardi from Mountain, Klaus Voormann, Corky Lang, Jim Price, Jim Gordon, John Uribe. So it goes on and on. Just an all-star lineup of musicians here. And just this was just killer. I mean, it sounds like 70s Stones, but without the Stones, obviously. But we do have one, and that's Bobby Keys. So really awesome pickup there. Been so into Deep Purple lately, and I didn't have this album, and eventually I'll get it on vinyl, but I did want the CD. This is Deep Purple's In Rock. This is a anniversary edition that they put out, so it includes a bunch of studio chatting and demo versions, which I could go without the studio chatting, but the demo versions are really cool on this one. The one thing I'll say about this release is, yeah, it has those demo tracks. I wish they were on a separate disc. These were just added onto the one disc, and to be honest, I wish I had those separate so I could just hear the album itself, and then if I want to hear the bonus stuff, I could just hear it separately, but what are you going to do? For $10, I mean, can't really go wrong. Next up, I don't have enough Iron Maiden in my collection. I've been really into hard rock recently. I've been really into that phase. And this is an album that I should have that I didn't. So I'm glad to pick it up now. Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast. I mean, classic as classic gets in terms of heavy metal. So happy to pick this one up. Next up, now I'm going to show a bunch of CDs that I picked up last weekend at a local library here was having a big book sale. And my wife and I went thinking, you know, they might have some cool books that are cheap. But it turned out that they had a ton of CDs, and not only just, you know, your cliche dollar store CDs, or I guess you would say Goodwill CDs, but some really, really good rock and metal. I was really impressed. I ended up walking out with a gold mine in terms of CDs there. So first up here we have, this is from the vault, Grateful Dead. Obviously this is in a library case, but both CDs are there and it's just great. This is just a compilation of live rare tracks that they put out in the 90s. So really cool there. I picked this one up. This one's a little nostalgic for me. This is the concert for New York City. They did this the October after 9/11 happened. It was a benefit concert at Madison Square Garden, but the lineup here is just killer on this album. Just to name a few: David Bowie, Bon Jovi, Jay-Z, Goo Goo Dolls, Billy Joel, Destiny's Child, Eric Clapton with Buddy Guy, Adam Sandler, Backstreet Boys, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. I don't know why they couldn't get the whole Stones band together for that. The Who, James Taylor, John Mellencamp, Five for Fighting. Haven't thought about them since the early 2000s, that's for sure. Elton John and Paul McCartney. I mean, just a killer lineup. My grandma was actually at this show. I don't know exactly the circumstances. I know that she went with a bunch of friends, maybe some kind of club or group that she was in. But she went to this show, and I remember her having the VHS tape of this at her apartment, and I'd watch it sometimes, and so this one just brought back a lot of memories for me, so I was happy to pick that one up. Next up, from the same sale, Beatles Live at the BBC. Now I have this on cassette, but I'm really happy to finally get it on CD, because to be honest, I don't listen to the cassette all that often, so maybe I'll listen to it a little more given the fact that I have a CD version. Next up here from the library, I picked up the Beatles Blue compilation 1967 to 1970, their later stuff, so happy to pick this one up. I don't have this one on vinyl or on any format, so happy to pick that up. Another one I picked up, Extreme 2 Porno Graffiti. Now I just picked this one up on cassette. You might have seen this in my last recent finds video. This album is killer. I mean, I think this is Extreme's best album. Just it's really too bad they came around at the wrong time. If they put out their albums maybe 5 years earlier, they would have been one of the biggest bands of the 80s, I think. But they really get heavy on this album. Nuno Betancourt's guitar playing is just, he puts on a clinic on this album. So if you're a guitar player, pick up this album because you will definitely appreciate the guitar playing here. And just everything sounds great. The songwriting is incredible. Just great straight up hard rock with a little bit of a glammy tinge to it. So really cool stuff there. I picked this one up. Now I had seen this band open up for George Clinton with Parliament Funkadelic a few years ago, and they were really cool live, so I wanted to pick this up. This is Fishbone, some ska punk there. So this is one of their more recent albums, I guess, early 2000s. So cool to pick that one up. Another nostalgic pickup for me, REM Out of Time. Now, I'm not a big REM fan, but I do love this album because it brings back a lot of memories. My parents used to have this on cassette and would play this on the car, on road trips, and all kinds of stuff. So I just wanted to pick this up for nostalgia reasons. Another one that I picked up, Richie Kotzen, Into the Black. And Richie Kotzen's great. I mean, if you don't know Richie Kotzen, he's basically a solo guitar player, singer-songwriter. Came up in the early 90s, I guess with some more underground bands, but most notably played on one of Poison's albums. I believe it was Native Tongue. He also played with Mr. Big. More recently, he formed the band The Winery Dogs, and he's just an incredible solo artist. I didn't have any of his solo stuff. Definitely pick it up if you love guitar virtuosos. I mean, he's incredible. What's cool about this album is it's a pretty early album for him. It's 2006. So he sounds a lot different than he does now. And his guitar playing is a little different too. I think that in the Winery Dogs, he developed a certain style, and this album is not that style. So if you like current Richie Kotzen, give this one a try. It's a lot heavier than any of the other stuff I'd heard from him. Next up, and you guys know I've been on a little bit of a Coheed and Cambria kick ever since I saw them do that acoustic set in a few towns over from me last month or the month before. But I picked this one up at the sale. This is Coheed and Cambria Aftermath Dissension. So really cool there. Next up, I picked up 2 Rush albums here. This is Rush Presto, late 80s Rush, but really cool because I like this one. It's not too synthy. They kind of moved away from that sound, went to a more classic Rush sound. There's some great songs on this album. And another one that I didn't know too well, this is Rush Roll the Bones from the 90s. Same thing, kind of back to that Rush root sound with that album. So fun listen there. Next up, this one I was so happy to pick up. This one's Art of Anarchy, their first album, self-titled. And this was a supergroup featuring a couple notable people here. Scott Weiland, I believe this was the last album that was put out featuring him before he passed away. And the bass player from Disturbed is on this as well, also Ron Bumblefoot Thal. But this was just a really cool supergroup, really heavy. It's interesting to hear such heavy music with Scott Weiland's vocals. This album's actually really out of print, so a little more difficult to get. But was really happy to pick it up after Scott passed away. They got Scott Stapp to sing for them. I think Jeff Scott Soto singing for them now. But just a really cool listen if you like heavy rock, but if you love Scott Weiland's vocals, he does an amazing job on that album. Next up, Monster Magnet. I picked up Monster Magnet Power Trip, mostly for the song Space Lord. I love that song, but this is actually a really cool album, listening to it all the way through. Just that classic, I would describe it as classic 90s biker rock. I mean, really cool stuff there. Next up, picked up Rob Zombie, Hellbilly Deluxe 2. Was never tempted to pick up this album before. It does have some great songs on it. Jesus Frankenstein, Sick Bubblegum. But the album overall is just really cool. I feel like this is before Rob Zombie got kind of, I want to say, silly with his albums. I mean, a lot of his songs now I feel like are kind of joke songs or kind of more theatrical than they need to be. This is still in the days where he was making like full heavy albums that didn't really include a lot of the novelty, I guess you would say, that his newer stuff includes. Next up here, still on that Iron Maiden train of thought here, it's Steve Harris's British Lion. This was Steve Harris's solo band. I'm not sure if they still are a band, but it was a cool listen. To be honest, I wasn't that amazed by this album. I thought that the production was not too good. I might have to give this one a few more listens to really get a good opinion on it. The songs were pretty good, not incredibly memorable, but what stood out to me was the production was just not very good on this album. Coming to the end here, we've got Dream Theater, Images and Words, their classic album. Didn't have this one, figured I'd pick it up. That was it for the library pickups and the last one, and I did do a video on this a couple weeks ago. This was Grateful Dead Dave's Picks number 54. This was at the Baltimore Civic Center in Baltimore, Maryland, March 26th, 1973. Just an amazing Dave's Picks, probably my favorite Dave's Picks that I've picked up so far. And like I said, I did a full review on that a few weeks ago, so you guys can check that out. All right, everybody, now that was my haul for the month. Pretty big CD haul, not too heavy on the vinyl, but we'll see about next month. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know in the comments below, what did you guys pick up this month? Was it a good month for you in terms of vinyl, CD, music in general pickups? Let me know below. I'd love to hear what you guys picked up. And if you haven't done so already, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, leave a like and a comment below this video, all that good stuff, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.